friends. Welcome. Welcome to Readings from the Heart. Happy Wednesday or Thursday, depending on where you are in the world. Is anyone brand new? I'm sorry for the discombobulation, but then again, I'm human. And that's just how it rolls. But we have soothing clouds and water in the background. And as always, I am greatly looking forward to doing channeled readings for you guys. See, I can't even get the camera settled. Okay. This is just it. This is Greg being flustered. Hello, welcome. So nice to be here with y'all, Peter says. Nicole, please email me. You can go into my link in the About tab and email me. Yeah, anyone else wants to volunteer? I need to set up a test live stream. It's not going to be a real stream. And I need to meet with people on Zoom at the same time while I do it. But yeah, to test some technology. So please email me so that we can set that up. Jamie, welcome. We do have new people today. Wonderful, wonderful. Where's everybody from? Nice to have you join us. My name's Greg Phillips. I'm coming to you from Utah in the United States, high desert, and it's 93 degrees Fahrenheit today. I wonder what that is in Celsius. It's probably well into the hundreds. Or no, not hundreds, lower, like 30s, right? Something like that. Montauk, very cool. That sounds really close. Is that close to Tarrytown? I used to live in Tarrytown. Yeah, Montauk sounds really, really familiar. Hello, Robbie from Atlanta, Georgia. Welcome to you. So I'm Greg Phillips. I am an energy healer and a channel and a spiritual guide for seekers and sensitives on the path to the heart. What we do here on Wednesdays is we do readings from the heart, which are channeled messages. In my lives, when I do readings, everybody has a chance at a reading. So we use this beautiful little spin the wheel app that we have nicknamed the Wheel of Good Guidance. And everybody gets a chance to be on the wheel, and we let the wheel and thus the universe pick who gets called on. And when you get called on, you will have a chance to ask a question or state an intention or state what topic you want your reading on, and then I'll do the channeling. Today, I want to encourage / challenge everybody to, well, we'll do a little meditation, A, because I need to get grounded, and B, to get to have a clearer listen into our hearts. But I'm going to challenge everyone to stay away from general guidance requests. And here's why. First, I like to encourage you guys to practice using your intuition and listening to your heart. And I think that's a really important spiritual muscle to exercise. But secondly, the more clear that you can be with the guidance that you seek, the deeper the reading is. So in other words, when you actually put your energy behind the intention or the question and you try to get as clear as you can, and it doesn't have to be super detailed, it just has to be cleared and focused. When you do that, I pick up on that energy, and then I can ride that energy in to see more deeply. Particularly if you know something's going on. And I get it. Sometimes it's a little scary to ask for something specific, right? Sometimes maybe we're not feeling worthy or deserving, or sometimes we don't want to bring up the topic because we're feeling raw and vulnerable. I understand, but I want to encourage you towards the greatest clarity so that you can have the deepest reading. If you can't do that, I understand, because general guidance readings are still quite wonderful. But yeah, I challenge you to practice exercising your intuition spiritual muscle. We are 428. Oh, 42.8 Fahrenheit. You are 34. Wow. That's yeah, we're 34 degrees. So, oh, okay, I got it. Add me, please. Oh, I haven't even started the list yet, but yes. Hi, hello, Kimmy. Good to see you from down under. Welcome. Hi, Zareta. Good to see you too. Welcome aboard. Anybody else coming new? I'm having trouble watching chat. Linda says, Greg, I've done the cemetery tour in Tarrytown, Sleepy Hollow. Oh, I don't think I ever did that, but yeah, that was supposed to, was that the Headless Horseman thing, Linda? I think so. Hi, Jason. Good to see you. Ooh, Jason's calling it the Wheel of Light. I like that name, Jason. We might have to actually adopt that. That is super cool. Hi, Jerry. Good to see you. I'm just saying hi still. I'm like so far behind on the chats. Sorry, guys. I love seeing how chatty you are, though. What did Jerry say? Thank you, Jerry. Don't forget to start record. Yeah, that is a really good point. I am recording, Jerry. Thank you so much. Wow, I still feel discombobulated. All right. Before we start taking names, actually, let's do names and then we'll do meditation. All right. I know people wrote already, but I've been having trouble following chat. So from right now, we're going to start again. Remember, everybody has a chance. So Jessica, who else? Nicole, Yvonne. I still need an assistant. Hi, Nancy. Welcome. Chat just moves way too fast for me lately. Thomas wants on. Melinda. I know you guys will help me out. Melinda, by the way, the link for tomorrow is up for the deep dive, and also the link for your for the private. I love being popular. Thank you, Melinda. That's really nice. Julia wants to assist. Oh, you are so sweet. Thank you. That would be really, really cool. I would need to meet with you, and then you'd need to be at every single one of my lives. Not every. Maybe we could have a committee of assistants. All right, I'm getting distracted again. Thomas, Melinda, Julia, Sharon. Is that Eliza or Elisa? How do you say that? That's really cool. I already got Julia. Yes, please. Sharon. I got Sharon, Eliza, Elisa, Zoraida. Are you just saying hi or do you want to be on the wheel? Tanya, you guys are giving your names when I can see them. Yes, please, Joanne. You guys are so funny. Jason. You can just say me, please, or me. You guys are so formal sometimes. It's funny. This is your first time, Zoraida? Really? Oh, wow. Congratulations. I've seen your name before, though. Eliza from Melbourne, Florida. Yes, indeed. Linda needs an assistant too with painty skills. I can't help you with that. The Melinda, the deep dive, which I'll talk about more for the whole group later, is at 3 p.m. Mountain tomorrow. Zoraida. Okay. That is a really cool name. I know, such a lovely, polite group. AM, first time too. Welcome to you. I hope that you guys really enjoy it. Peta, I did not catch you. Thank you for speaking up. I love how good you guys are. Who else did I miss? Let me see who I got. Jessica, Nicole, Yvonne C, Thomas, Melinda, Julia, Sharon, Eliza, Tanya. Tanya? Did I get? Yeah. Joanne, Jason, Zoraida, and Peta. Is there a Tanya here? Tana? Who is that? Sherry Ali. Wonderful. Who else? I love this group too, Linda. Tanya, I did say it right. Wonderful, Tanya. Glad to have you here too. Who else wants to not be on the list? Pronounced Eliza. Thank you for spelling out the pronunciation, Eliza. I love that. Yes, see, because it can be anything, right? It could be Eliza, Elisa, Eliza, but you're Elisa. Very cool. Thomas, we could put out initials if that makes it easier. No, just say me, please. It's that simple. Your names are already in chat. Your names come in. You had in the calendar for 7 p.m. Okay, yeah. Good. I hope you can make it. Right now, it's just you and me, unless other people decide to join this evening, as I explain more about that. But I'm so discombobulated, I don't know what I'm going to get to. Jessica is also from Massachusetts. Claire wants to get on. Awesome. Got a nice running list. After Claire. Okay. I am gonna say, all right, so we have Jessica, Nicole, Yvonne C, or Yvonne C, Thomas, Melinda, Julia, Sharon, Elisa, Tanya, Joanne, Jason, Zoraida, Peta, Sherry Ali, Claire. Who else? Did I miss anybody? You guys always help me out with this. Thomas, do you write the whole name? I'm waiting for someone called supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. I do write the whole name, which is why I need an assistant. Linda Skipping will listen during dog walk. Oh, I love that for you. Peter's looking forward to our grounded meditation. I am too, Peter. I had a great meditation this morning, but I've just been so busy and I didn't leave myself enough time to be thrown off by the technology challenge. But thank God we always have a backup, the old way of doing it. The tried but true. What else are you guys saying? That's how you were yesterday. Well, you know what? It's good to be human. It's good to just admit, you know, to be honest and clear and present with how we are in the moment. It's when we fight against it. It's when we resist it. It's when we judge on top of feeling bad, judge ourselves for feeling bad, or judge ourselves for being off, or judge ourselves for being thrown off by technology foibles. Like that's where our suffering comes in. But when we're just like, ah, that's just how I am today. Did I ever tell you guys the story about this was years ago. It was about 15, 16 years ago, maybe. It was probably 2006. No, that'd be 18 years ago. Wow. So it was 2006, Saturday morning. I woke up and I was in a state. I was grumpy, grumpy, grumpy face. And I was not comfortable with it. I didn't like it. Around that time, I was still working through feeling comfortable with being angry. And it was just really, really awkward. And I decided I would go about my morning like usual. I had a meeting with friends planned later in the morning, and I'd do my morning routine, which was, you know, feed myself a delicious breakfast and do my meditation, which was a nice long one. And the whole time, of course, I was just like Mr. Grumpy Face, just all morning. And I was just angry at life, basically. And partway through my morning routine, I realized, well, I'm not shifting out of this too quickly. I know I will, but for right now, I guess I just need to give it a big hug and embrace it. And I was like, all right, at least I'm not sad or fearful because those for me are stifling. They don't have any movement to them. But anger has some motion to it. It has some energy. It has power to it. And so I was like, all right, I'm going to embrace this. I'm going to go with it. I'm going to have fun with being angry. So I went to the store and oh no, I went to the store. I forget. At some point in that morning or early afternoon, I went to the store and the cashier was very friendly and said, "How are you today?" And I said, "I am deliciously pissy." And she laughed and I laughed because when it came out of my mouth, it just sounded hilarious. But at the same time, she laughed in recognition because I think she knew what I was talking about. And within an hour, I was feeling better, which I love this story because it blows my mind because when you really truly embrace how you're feeling and you stop fighting it, right? And at that point, I shifted the way I was talking about it. I shifted the way I was even thinking about it. And I said I was deliciously pissy, meaning I was enjoying being pissed off. And I was angry and I was going to enjoy it, damn it. And within an hour, I felt better. I got a whiff of hope and started feeling more positive and more joyful, and the rest of the day was great. So that was a long time ago, but ooh, wow, sudden lag. Sorry about that, video lag. Yeah, it was a long time ago, but I love telling that story. Alrighty. Thank you, Linda. It's worth a good laugh. So the next time you get angry, remember, you're not angry, you're deliciously pissy and enjoy it. It feels good to be angry sometimes, as long as you don't punch somebody or hurt somebody or hurt yourself, right? It feels good to be angry sometimes. There is actual emotion. Yeah, it's a negative emotion, but it actually has motion to it where sadness, depression, fear, they're very stymieing. They're very They sort of they don't have a lot of oomph to them, right? They have more. They're slower. They're like their energy is kind of like dead. Yeah. Very, very good. Rhonda, oh boo, I gotta run. Okay, Rhonda, see you soon. Hi, Claire. Have you not have you not been deliciously pissy since 2006? Stagnant emotions. No emotions are bad, right? No, I mean there's no bad and there's no good or there's no bad. I think what I would say is numb is a dangerous place to be because where it happens, but I I personally, in my experience spiritually and just life-wise, I'd rather feel something than nothing. When I feel nothing, that is where I get concerned because that means that I am completely cutting myself off from my heart. And that's just for me. But I've been an emotional person my whole life. I'm a Pisces in human design. I have emotional authority. So emotions are just the primary filter that I see the entirety of life through. So that's different for me. Other people see and filter life through their mind or through their gut, solar plexus, or not solar plexus, sacral, things like that. So it's just different for everybody. But for me, not feeling anything is is a warning sign. And believe me, I spent most of the first 23, 4 years of my life numbing myself. So I know what numb feels like. I was numbing myself with food and alcohol and other things. So I know what numb feels like. And it is not a place I want to go. So that's just for me though. That's how I do life. Yes, Claire said, I heard a teacher say recently that numb was a feeling too, which I thought was interesting. Yeah, no, I think numb's not a feeling on the Abraham Hicks emotional guidance scale, but numb can be a feeling. It's certain, well, I don't know if I would call it a feeling. It could be a feeling. It's certainly a state. I kind of think that numb is a state of not feeling. And I guess just like not making a decision is still making a decision, I guess in that regard, numb could be a feeling. But in my regard, just the way I think of numb, which is a fascinating conversation now that we think about it. When I think of numb, I my perception of it is that it is the state of no feelings. Comfortably numb. That's a good song. All right, my friends. Melinda has never noticed that I am emotional. You are a funny one, Melinda. You are a funny one. All right, my friends. We all need, well, Peter and I need a grounding meditation. So let's do it. Now that you can hear me and see the beautiful water, Claire says, yes, it's not nice. Been numb to life or to how we are feeling. Yeah. Yeah. Well, Maurice, an example, as some of the regulars here know, my dear friend Marty died in May, and I just decided to dive right into the grief. I spent a good 2 or 3 weeks in it. Some of her family members decided to up their doses of antidepressants, and others decided to get busy, and we all deal with grief and death and loss in a different way. But for me, I would much rather just go through it and feel it. And then a funny thing happened on Monday. We were out shopping for groceries, and I was in the frozen section, and I saw some of the frozen meals that I used to buy for Marty, and I saw a few of the flavors that she really liked, and I briefly got sad with that memory, and then I just real and then somehow just a moment later it was like, oh, but that's also a happy memory because I used to help her out by getting the meals and talk to her about how they tasted for her and things like that. So it's funny, and then I realized, oh, I hadn't thought of her in like 3 weeks since coming to Utah. So that was interesting. I currently feel numb, would agree with no feeling. Well, there we go. We have a friend and fellow participant who is currently feeling numb and can validate that they do not feel anything. I'm sorry that you feel numb, AM, but I appreciate you helping us validate that. Jason says numb for me equals blocked off and isolated. Ah, fascinating. Yeah. And see, that's important. Like, I love how Jason stated that numb for me equals, and then that's what he's kind of associating. So the way I look at that, Jason, correct me if I'm saying it wrong regarding you, but for me, when I am isolating or when I'm disconnecting myself, when I am blocking source, when I'm blocking my connection to source or other people, that can cause me to feel numb. So that's sort of like the way that I read Jason's statement. And it's really, really deeply insightful. And I think that that is beautiful. Congratulations, Jason. All emotions are temporary. All emotions, for me, emotions are facts. For other people, they're not. But yes, emotions are temporary, but frequency isn't. Vibration isn't at all. Well, temporary. I wouldn't say emotions are temporary. I would say emotions are always flowing. They're always in a state of flux. Because I see them as on sort of a continuum, but like a wave. So emotions for me are always in a wave. There's times when I'm more days at the top of a wave, or some days I'm lower, or some days I'm in the middle. I think numb, if we were think about it as wave, I think numb would be where there are no waves. So like there's no sine wave for numb, which is interesting because when there's no sine wave for the heart, that means the heart has stopped beating. Oh, I didn't never thought of that before. That's really quite fascinating. All right, we've had lots of interesting conversation. We're supposed to be here for readings, but I appreciate you guys having a lovely conversation about this. Jason, leads to isolation, probably better statement. Either one. I think that the numb comes from, I think the blocked and the isolation are what creates the numbness for me. Because the feelings or lack thereof are always a response to what we're thinking and our perspective and focus on things. So if I'm blocking myself off from others, like by isolating or disconnecting from source, then I could eventually, for me, I end up feeling usually overwhelmed, but I can see it leading to numbness or a state of, yeah. This is very, very fascinating. Painkillers can make us numb, Thomas says. It's very true. And sometimes numb is helpful. Sometimes something is too intense. Temporary numbness can get us through it. But for me, I prefer to just feel, and no matter what it is. And I know that that makes other people uncomfortable because they're not comfortable with their own feelings, but I would much rather go through mine and um, and pass through the other side than not experience them at all. All right, let's meditate. Courageous, Craig. Yeah, I guess I am. Thank you, Claire. I appreciate you saying that. Today, Nicole says, was a bottom of a wave day for me, unfortunately. Oh, well, my dear, you are in with loving friends in a beautiful, safe space. No matter how discombobulated I am, I will always do my best to hold a safe, loving space for you guys to just be you. And you know how it goes when we get some readings rolling. We usually raise the vibration, gives us stuff to chew on and think about. So, yep. Nicole, did you get on the list today, my dear? Yes, you did. You're right up there. All right, my friends, let's get with a little meditation. My friends, I encourage you to close your eyes, listen to the beautiful Koshi chimes. I'll try to hold closer to the mic since none of the filters I set up on Monday are on it anymore. Yes, and just close your eyes, my friends. Place your feet flat on the floor, hands gently and tenderly laying in your lap or folded. No matter how you are feeling today, my dear friends, I can guarantee you that you are always surrounded by a warm, supportive, and beautiful blanket of love from the universe. We may not feel it on certain days. We may be in an up wave, a down wave, or a flat wave. But I guarantee you that blanket of love and support is always, always present. And it's not something we can readily or even easily notice with our thoughts or with our mind. But when we do notice that we are busy with our thinking, as I have been this morning, doing tasks, busy thinking, it's easy to lose track and forget to listen to the heart. See, the mind can only focus on what it is currently paying attention to. The heart has a portal to the divine, or as I heard yesterday from a beautiful interview with Sheila Gillette, who channels Theo. Sheila is one of the long-standing channels on the planet. In fact, Theo, who she channels, is a group of archangels, and they taught Esther Hicks, who channels Abraham. And I saw a beautiful video, an interview with Sheila Gillette yesterday, and the interviewee asked Theo why the heart is so important for us as humans. And Theo simply said, because it is the seat of the soul. So, my friends, your heart is a portal to source and the universe and spirit because it is the seat of the soul. Your mind does not have that characteristic. Your heart is where your soul resides. And so, my friends, mentally or visually or sensing wise, use your imagination to feel into or picture your very soul sitting at the center of your chest, there at the seat of your soul. And your soul is that part of you which is always and forever eternally connected to Source, to the divine. It is where our heart wisdom comes from, where our understanding of emotions comes from, where our understanding of other people comes from. Place your left hand on your heart and gently place your right hand over it, my friends. And as you are focused on your very heart center, quietly and gently ask it, what is the guidance that I seek right now in this moment? And allow it to bubble up and answer a question, whatever form it takes. And as it does, trust that you will receive that guidance that you seek. It may not be in today's live. It may not even be in today's 24 hours. But trust that the answer is being orchestrated and will be revealed to you. And do your best to feel into the very question of the guidance that you seek and hold on to that. Make it your singular focus as we begin our readings today. Allow your intuition and your heart to inform this question so that you have the greatest clarity and intention behind it. I always like to say that intention is simply a focus or decision that you back up with your own energy. You infuse your energy into it so it becomes powerful. And I will spin the wheel. There's a double water sign. Congratulations. I like different virtual backgrounds. Thomas, you are the first winner on the Wheel of Good Guidance. Step right up. Linda saw a praying mantis today, which is rare because they are so well camouflaged. I think it's a positive sign of something good to come. I believe that in some Asian cultures, the praying mantis is a sign of abundance, I think. You might have to look that up. Hey, Patty. Oh my God, Patty. So good to see you, my dear friend. Good to see you. So good. Yay, Thomas. Come on down. The wheel of good guidance has blessed you. Jessica says, good fortune, blessings, and divine protection. And to you too, my dear. In African cultures, what is it? The praying mantis is a sign of abundance in African cultures, Nicole? It could be more than one culture. Nicole knows because she's African. Fantastic. Thomas, did we lose you, buddy? Good to see you, Patty. Always good to see you. It's been a while. Thomas, you're the next one up. You're the first one up. You are the lead-off question for readings today. Oh, Patty, yeah, my heart goes out to you. Mm. Hmm. Well, you're in a good place with us right now, my dear friend. Very good. Thomas, how can I be of assistance to you? What guidance do you seek today? What bubbled up from your heart? I'm very curious to see what bubbled up from Thomas's heart. Hello, Suleiman. Welcome to you. Hmm. No, I'm just waiting for Thomas. Yes, send your love to Patty if you so wish. Her mom, who was ill, passed, croaked, transitioned, whatever you want to call it. Her energy transmuted into a different form to be transferred and transmuted into another form later. Thomas, I'm not sure about a question now. I feel in a good place and seeing you tomorrow so I could give to Nicole instead. Nicole, do you accept Thomas's gift of the reading? Aw, thanks, Thomas says. Patty's mom was a feisty gal who had a long and lovely life. Thank God for that. That's awesome. All right, Nicole accepts. My friend, go ahead and type your question, and I will remove you from the wheel. Thomas, that was very, very kind and generous of you. How do you say your name? Eka? I can't remember. Ika? Eka. Welcome for your second time. Please let me know how it's pronounced. Eka? Ika? Well, I said three different sayings, so I don't know which one's right, but thanks for confirming one of them. The first, Eka? Oh, very cool. Thank you. You'll have to remind me again down the road, maybe. Nicole's question is, tell me about my legal issues with medical negligence. Um, I don't know anything about that. So just so you guys know, I don't do anything predictive. I work with the energy. So when I get channeled readings, when I do channel readings, or if I do an energy reading, I'm dealing with the energetic dynamic. And usually that means also the mental and emotional dynamic beneath it. So if you're open to that, Nicole, that's fine. I don't know about medical negligence things, but let's see what comes up. I love how clear your question is, though. Guides and Circle 7, please open me to a message for Nicole. I think service to her. Well, the first thing that comes through is just an enormous amount of love, as always. And Nicole, they seem to be pointing out the word negligence. They're pointing out because they say that it's a slippery slope mentally to attach to the concept of negligence. We realize that this is a medical term to some degree, or a more of a legal term. But they're bringing this up because when we do attach to a concept or a thought or a word such as negligence, and there could be, we could fill in the blank with other words of similar nature, there exists within the very thought construct of negligence the possibility of being a victim. And this is a very slippery slope because nothing in life happens to us, it all happens for us. And while the most difficult things in life are sometimes a difficult or bitter pill to swallow relating to that, the perspective of 4 versus 2 is a much more liberating viewpoint. It has the aspect of retaining our sense of power, our ability to choose how we look at things. It allows us to perceive of a bigger picture, an overall bigger picture. And when we think about life happening for us, in that notion, there is also this sense of partnering with life. And while one would never choose deliberately choose a situation in which we were neglected, just like one would never choose a breakup necessarily. I mean, one might choose a breakup, but one would not choose being broken up with. It's important to see it's important to see that nothing wrong truly has happened. And why is it important to look at any situation this way? Take, for example, my foibles with technology earlier. Do we really know why the technology went wrong? We really don't. I would be quick to assume that it was my fault. But was it? What if the technology simply is facilitating something else. For example, Nicole offered to help me with this. And my requirement for that is that I need to meet with you on Zoom and do a test live. This created an opportunity that we don't know what will come from. And so the technology foible is happening for us. We don't know yet to what purpose or to what end. So given this explanation, Nicole, they're wanting you to really look inside and take a moment for deep inquiry about and ask yourself, how am I viewing this situation? How am I viewing these legal issues regarding a medical negligence? Is there a way to, how am I looking at this? And how does that looking at this cause me to feel? If it's causing me to feel anything lower than hope, lower being frequency wise, if it's causing me to feel discouraged, if it's causing me to feel despair, if it's causing me to feel depression, if it's causing me to feel fear, if it's causing me to feel anger, these are important emotions. They're important indicators. All of those would be indicators that you're not seeing it as the way through the eyes of source. You're not seeing it from the eyes of love. And that may be very difficult. This may be they're acknowledging that this is potentially a very sticky entire issue and conversation for you. And they get that. And they realize that. That's why all they're asking right now is for you to do the internal inquiry about what your perspective is on this. They're saying if your perspective was one where you are feeling like a victim, then honor that. Sit with it for a bit. Don't run from it. Allow it to inform you as to what was really going on in the situation, because there was really you. How do they know it is difficult to see that nothing wrong has really happened, and that perspective doesn't necessarily maybe help you feel better in the moment. But this line of inquiry, I just keep getting this sense that, like, I don't know why, there's just like a digging, that some sort of a digging needs to go on, but not a mental digging, not a digging into the actual legal issues, not a digging actually into the whatever the medical thing was, but an actually digging into what you're thinking about and how you're feeling. Let me see if there's a Nicole, how's this resonating? I feel like this is a very dense topic for you, and I acknowledge that. You want to know if it's worth pursuing. Well, then this line of inquiry would be really, really important, because you're the only one. Yeah. You're the only one who can really decide that. And that is truly from your heart. But here's the thing, my dear. They're asking you to do this inquiry for one simple reason. They're wanting to make sure that you are in alignment with whatever you choose. And to be in alignment, you do not want to make the decision from fear or revenge or neglect or victimhood. You want to be making it from a place of alignment with how love sees it. For example, 12 years ago, I was massively in debt. I had over $150,000 in debt that had been racked up for several dozen years. And I was in such a bad state financially that it was almost a benefit that I lost everything, because there wasn't anything for the collections agencies to go for, but that kept wrecking the debt up. And when I asked my original guide whether bankruptcy was a good choice for me, his encouragement was to hold off on making any decision around it until I could find a perspective from which I could make that decision where the decision felt good. So he gave the example, and I'll give you the example as well. So yeah, very good. Oh, Dana. So yeah. So Nicole, you have many, many different options here in reality, right? And it all comes down to what your perspective is on this. So what they're not trying to tell you what to do, because that they recognize, and you hopefully do as well, that that is your responsibility, is making the decision. But if you are considering this, and when you consider the options, you want to look at it and say, like, well, why would I go after this? Would I pursue this because I want revenge? Would I pursue this because I want retribution? Would I pursue this when there's a lot of different ways that you can ask this? So you need to do this line of inquiry really deeply. And ultimately, the question, the real, okay, thank you for clarifying. I didn't really get it at first. The real question is, what are you really wanting to feel from this decision, right? So you could decide to pursue this legally. You could decide to let it go. You could decide to do something else, whatever the other options are. But what are the emotions that you're hoping to feel from this, right? So in my case of the bankruptcy, I spent several years before deciding to do it in fear and resistance. I didn't want people to come after me. I didn't like the burden. I was uncomfortable with the fact that there was so many hundreds of thousands of dollars of debt. I didn't know how I was going to get out of it. I was worried about it. There was anxiety. Those are not, being in those emotional places are a mental perspective that I do not want to be making that decision from. Years later, when the topic came up again, I started to realize, well, yeah, I want to get these people off my back, but why do I really want to have a bankruptcy? Why do I really want to file that? I'm like, I want to start over. I want a clean slate. I want the sense of freedom of having declared bankruptcy and having my slate cleaned. I want to have the freedom from always thinking about all the bad decisions I made to have the debt pile up. I wanted the freedom from the guilt. I wanted the freedom from the shame. But I realized in that moment that I didn't need to do the bankruptcy to resolve those feelings. I could resolve those feelings internally. And then the bankruptcy was just icing on the cake. It was just the legal means to have a clean slate, a physical, financial clean slate. But I still had all the emotions that I had to walk through. There was so much shame and guilt. There was so much, in your case, there could be anger, there could be a sense of retribution. There could be that sense of revenge, as I mentioned. So these are all really important to embrace and to look at, and then seek clarity from within those, not so much about how you're thinking, but about what emotions are going on for you. And there is a possibility that pursuing legal measures may have a good positive alignment for you. Letting it go can also have a good positive alignment for you. The real question is, what is going to be true for you? Hello, Marcella. First time here. Welcome to you. Nicole, is any of that resonating? Yeah, it is really tough. I feel at a smidge of a loss, because I feel like, yeah, it's just, it's not that they refuse to tell you one way or another, but that's not their job. Their job isn't to tell you one way or another which way to do it. This is a process that you have to walk through, my dear. Oh, okay. So you're moving and they're saying it's difficult to continue the case. So we know you're moving, right? The move is happening and you have a choice to not move in that, but you've made that choice already. We've discussed that before. And so energetically, I can feel that there's a clarity there for you. And correct me if I'm wrong, but so there's a clarity in your moving. So really, is what you're asking, is what you're asking, how does this, I'm sorry this is difficult, but it is a very dense topic and they're steering away from too many specifics. Okay. At the end of the day, my dear, the 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 thing that you are looking for most, I'm guessing, is relief, right? The question is, where can that relief come from, right? Well, which thought feels better? You know you're moving. Do you want to deal with the stress or whatever else, the complications, the difficulty of it? How important is it to you to continue to pursue from afar with the added difficulty? And it may not be as difficult as they say, because they say is just a perspective, and you have control over your vibration and you have control over your perspective. In fact, it's your energy at play in this, not their energy, right? There may be legitimate logistical challenges, but you can also script or pre-pave this if you want to be easy. The whole question is what you're looking for. Are you looking to feel relief? Are you looking to feel relief? If you're looking to feel relief about this whole situation, letting it go is a possibility. Pursuing it is a possibility. It's just every option is possible, but you have to try each one on and see which feels better. And just try each thought on, Nicole, one thought at a time about this. For just think of the different options, maybe even just write them down if you want to be like really tangible, really practical. Write them down in a journal, type them out in a computer, whatever you want, and sit in a meditation and one at a time try on each option as a thought and see what feelings it comes from. If you think of this thing and you feel worse, that's not a good option. If you think of the other if you think of another option and then you feel a little bit, even just you're looking for a little bit better, then that's kind of, you're getting a whiff of the direction that you want to go. And you just try each one on as though you're trying on a new pair of shoes or a new hat. I call it trying on new hats mentally. You just try a thought, see how it feels. Doesn't feel good? Try the other thought. Does that feel better? A little bit better, but not too much. Great. A little bit is progress. Then you try on another thought. You try. So, for example, this might be, help me out here, guys, because this is a really toughie. I'm in this legal pursuit and I know I'm moving and they're saying that there's going to be a challenge here. Oh, that makes me feel worse. Okay. I'm in this legal pursuit and I know I'm moving and well, the distance in terms of submitting files and stuff, well, that's just the nature of moving. Well, that thought doesn't make me feel better or worse. Okay, so I'm moving and I'm in this legal pursuit and I'm I have the option just completely let it go. How do you feel about that? Do you feel better? Let's say, for example, that makes you feel worse. Okay, I don't feel good about that because I've been working on this and I do want to continue it. Oh, wait, clarity. Whoa, I do want to continue it. Oh, okay, I do want to continue it. Well, I do want to continue it. I'm clear on that. I know I'm moving. I'm clear on that. Okay. So then I have more power of choice here. I know I'm moving. I know I want to continue it. So am I willing to show up for the rest of what needs to be done to continue pursuing it, given the fact that I'm moving, right? So you just sort of follow it along. Is this making any sense? This actually feels more difficult to do without hearing your voice, quite honestly. It is like a puzzle, but I think that this, yeah. there's so much to unpack here, Nicole, and I feel like I am not doing service to the message that's coming through. And I know I'm doing my best, so I'm not like upset about that. But there's just a lot here to explore. So maybe that's something we should do offline when you help me. You help me with my tech stuff. Yeah. Um, do you feel like a victim? Let me ask you that. Okay, well, therein lies an energetic imbalance. If you feel like a victim, then any pursuit of this is always going to feel like a challenge. So the first thing you need to do, and this goes back to what they were originally saying about how sticky the word negligence is. And I get that that is a legal term. But you need to clear up your vibration around feeling like a victim, because if anything you do and I'm being really firm on this with you because I know you a little bit and I know you can take it, and I usually don't like to say you need tos and have tos and all that, but that's the root of why you are so challenged, is because you feel like a victim. It doesn't, now remember, when I say you feel like a victim, we're talking about the way that you are perceiving this. And this is true, my friends, for anything: a breakup, a financial collapse, a job change, the need to move. When we feel like a victim, we are giving our power away to whatever that topic is. And we don't want to do that, because then we are subject, we are, maybe subject's the wrong word, we're dependent on other things and people, places and things for our own well-being, which means anything anybody does in relation to this legal case for you, Nicole, has the opportunity, has the possibility of throwing you off the deep end or sending you in a spiral. And you don't want to be there, my friend. You want to be in your power around this. And so freeing yourself from the victim mentality is your spiritual work. And when you do that, I'm absolutely certain that you will gain the clarity that you need as to whether or not to continue pursuing this legal battle once you move. Because if you free yourself from the victimhood and you take your power back from it, then it doesn't matter what happened. It doesn't even matter whether you continue to pursue it. You can still choose to continue to pursue it, but you have then resolved the ick emotionally, mentally, and spiritually, and you've regained your power, and then you can make a clear decision given all the facts that you see before you. Does that make any sense? You're right. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, you are handing your power whenever you feel like a victim. And I get it. It happens in life. I understand. I felt like a victim when the collection agencies were calling me, and I'm the one who incurred the debt. And yet I felt that they were abusing me. It happens. Our mind goes there sometimes. The important thing is to not judge when you feel like a victim, but to stop for a moment and realize, I'm feeling like a victim. What does that mean? That means I am making my happiness, my well-being, and my prosperity, or whatever, dependent on what other people say, do, or look, or act. And that is giving your power. That is my definition of codependence. And you don't want to be giving your power away. You're wanting to retain your power. So I would greatly recommend, I've never made a track on this, but I probably should someday. I would greatly recommend looking up a track about cord cutting. I think Jackie Mancuso has one, or look up any kind of meditation you can do around cord cutting, because the reality of this, if you take all the physical and all that out and you just look at the energetic dynamic, Nicole, there's a line of energy that you've got connected to this and to all the people involved, and that is just holding on like peanut butter. It is just sticky, sticky, sticky. And when you can cut that cord and pull your energy back in And it may take several cord cutting meditations to do this. It may take several days of cord cutting meditations to do this. It may take several weeks. We don't know. We don't know. We don't have an expectation. We don't have a timeline. You just do it because you gain a benefit from it. You do it because it is a good thing to do to try to retain and regain your energy. And if you can do a cord cutting exercise, yes, Hannah can recommend a meditation. Fantastic. I have one and I can talk about it now, but we've already been talking. Actually, let's do it. My friends, let's just do it. This is just a big topic for a lot of people, I feel. So I will teach you my cord cutting technique. And it's a simple meditation, all right? And we'll do this and then we'll move on to the next reading, all right? So Nicole and anyone who wants to do this, if anyone is feeling like they don't have control over a situation, like if they don't have, like they're feeling like a victim, like they're feeling like somebody did something wrong to me, somebody wronged me, and I feel like a victim. If you have any sense of that, even if it was like, even any sense of giving your power away, somebody asks you a question, somebody, your boss does some sort of management status check thing, and you're feeling powerless over it, or you're feeling weak, or you're feeling like their opinion matters too much to you. Anything, this can be good for anything. So you simply close your eyes and you picture a dense line of energy, and everybody's in, let's do all this together. Disconnect from Chaos and Connect Calm by Lee Harris. That's a great one to check out too. I haven't heard about it, but yeah, thank you, Hannah, for passing that along. Yay. Okay, so we're going to do this and then move on. So everybody close your eyes, place your hands on your heart space. Actually, keep your heart open, hands on your lap. Just picture a line of energy extending out from the very center of your heart. You can even extend it from your solar plexus if this is an issue of personal power and confidence. Either one works. I usually do the heart, and extend that, watch that line. It already is out there. It is connecting to whoever this is associated with. This could be an ex, this could be a boss, this could be a doctor, this could be a lawyer, this could be a financial person, this could be anyone, this could be a family member, this could be a brother, sister, mother, father, spouse. Picture that line heading to that person and connecting with their heart. And here's the thing, my friends, they're completely oblivious to that line existing, but you can see it. You know it's there. And then in your mind's eye, picture a massive scissors. We're talking 2 feet, 3 feet long, right? A huge scissors. And just open that up energetically and cut the line. And the minute you cut it, feel that energy come back into your chest. Feel the return of all that energy. Now, 2 things might happen. It might linger there and you might have it back permanently, or the line will immediately reform. If the line immediately reforms, cut it again. But the most important thing is the cutting of the line with the big scissors. It could be a little scissors too. It doesn't matter. But I like a big scissors because it's just, I like a big scissors. You just cut the line and you're wanting to sense and feel, and you can do this visually or sensory. You're wanting to sense and feel the energy and the power, your energy and power, returning to your heart or returning to your solar plexus, whichever one you're attaching it to. You want to feel and note that feeling. Even if the cord reattaches, you're starting to recognize what it feels like to regain your power. And you just keep cutting the cord with the scissors, and do that for a couple minutes and then go on to a different meditation until one day you're going to cut the cord and it's not going to reattach. You could use a chainsaw, Peter, but I don't like the noise and I don't like the mess. I think scissors are nice and clean. But honey, you can use the chainsaw too. Dana is raising her hand. I was slightly thinking of you, Dana, and some of the things I said. Nicole, how are you feeling? I know that that is a lot. Okay, good. You like that. I really need to make a track on that. Or I think I think I spoke about it at a live many, many months ago. Okay. Again, just to reiterate, my dear, clean up your perspective, clean up your vibration, find the alignment or, find the alignment and the freedom from the victimhood, take your energy back, whatever. There's so many different ways to talk about it, look about it. And then from that place, with your sense of self-power restored and your alignment with source around this, then decide how to move forward. Because until you do that, it's just going to be a difficult decision, my friend, and it will be fraught with challenges because you're not in alignment. You're not even in alignment with why you're doing it. You're just doing it. It's probably more of a reactionary thing. It may not be, but yeah. So good luck with that, my dear. That is a dense, difficult situation. There's a lot to unpack there, and if you want to meet privately, I would love to do that because I think we could really go deep with that. But for some reason, without hearing your voice and allowing you more opportunity to explain the density and the depth of this, I just feel like we're just getting sort of a um, as best of a response as we can get right now. Thank you so much for your donation. I really appreciate that. I honor your sharing your abundance with me, and we honor together the flow of the cycle of abundance. So thank you. Hi, welcome. All right, welcome from Melbourne, Australia. Donnie, yes, good morning. This sounds interesting. Yes, well, we're well into it. Hi, Donnie, good to see you. You're welcome, Nicole. Thomas says there's a song, Taking My Power Back by Destiny someone. Destiny's Child, maybe. All right. We're going to spin the wheel again and see who else comes up. This is a really interesting day today. I hope that was helpful for other people as well. Julia, you're the next contestant on the Wheel of Good Guidance. Thomas, yeah, thanks for giving your turn away to Nicole. All right, Julia, you are still here. Yay. All right. What guidance do you seek today? How can I be of assistance to you? Julia says, I believe I may have met my twin flame. Do I see that? Well, again, I don't do anything predictive. I'm not, I don't, yeah. Um, it does sound wonderful, though. I agree with Nicole. All right, well, let's see what the guide's saying. Guides in circle 7, please open me to a message for Julia. Julia, can you provide more details? How is this meeting feeling to you? What feelings? Yeah, but what feelings? When you're in the presence of this person, how do you feel? Calm? What else? Hit the unicorns I want? That's not a feeling, but that's a funny phrase. I'm not sure what that means. Stick with the feelings, Julia. Calm. What else? This may be hard, and I understand, but it's really, really important because at the end of the day, when we're wanting anything we're wanting, it's always about the way we think it'll make us feel. And this is how you recognize whether someone is a match for you. Twin flame, I mean, fancy, spiritually new agey word and all that. I don't like there's lots of twin flames as far as I'm concerned in life because we come down and I think we come onto the planet in clusters of souls who've agreed to meet along the way and serve each other in some way or have fun or whatever. So, I mean, anything's possible, but how do you recognize them? That is really the question. Universal love, not necessarily romantic love, agreed on the naming. Yeah. So if we just let go of the label for a moment, what we're recognizing is what was some term somebody used the other day? Um, like a soul kinship, really. Yeah. So calm, universal love. Okay. Do you feel joy? Do you feel intrigued or curious? Do you have a positive sense of expectation, a looking forward to? And honestly, I mean, and this isn't even from the guides. This comes from an old friend of mine from about 25 years ago. I haven't seen her in years, but she was starting to date, and one of her spiritual advisors helped her out at the beginning of this. And she just had the hardest time. She really, really liked this guy, but she had the hardest time knowing whether she should continue moving forward. And her spiritual helper said something that I thought was brilliant and so simple that it just works. And she basically said, when you wake up in the morning, ask yourself if you want to see them again. If the answer is yes, then see them again and keep it that simple. And so there's a beauty to this, right? If you've ever listened to any of Abraham Hicks stuff and they talk about wedding vows, they're not really big fans necessarily of wedding vows because their favorite wedding vow is something like, I like you pretty well, let's see how it goes. Because things change, right? Things change. And so how do we know that? We wake up in the morning every day and we say, do I want to see this person again? Do I want to be around this person again? If the answer is an easy yes, then we see them again and we keep it that simple. If that were the case, I need to purchase a stable for men. Oh, that's hilarious, right? So again, I'm trying to keep it really simple for you. I'm recognizing that getting in touch with the emotions is really difficult, but when we know and then believe that when wherever we're wanting something, a relationship, a car, a job, money, a new location to live, any of that, it's all because of the way we hope to feel in receiving those things. When we ask the universe for those things and use not those things, when we ask the universe for those emotions, and we use that as a guideline to identify when we've discovered or found or bumped up into or received an invitation to or for or with, when we use those emotions to help us recognize that something is happening, an occurrence, then we know that's in alignment. And you're already on the right track. You're talking about like not that crazy, obsessed kind of love thing. You mentioned universal love. So you're feeling a love, right? But let's not read too much into it, right? Because we don't know ultimately how this connection with this person will shake out. I'm a very open-hearted, you can tell I'm very open-hearted and I'm very emotionally hard on the sleeve. I'm an open book with my emotions. And I quote unquote, fall in love really easily. It's because I'm a loving person. But though sometimes that Sometimes the experience of falling for someone, or even not just the falling, but feeling a connection, is just a recognition of a like-hearted soul. And it doesn't mean, as my mind likes to go to sometimes, a relationship. It could just be a new friendship, or maybe they're a new teacher for me, or maybe they're just a companion of some sort that that I haven't perceived how to be companioning with somebody, right? It's just the mind can attach so many different filters on this, and when we keep it simple, it just makes it so much easier that we can just hold a space of loving allowance, and then we can be the observer and the witness, and we can be mindful and watch how it unfolds, and we don't have to get caught up in all the other stuff, right? Because ultimately it will go whatever course it's supposed to go. Hi, Inga, welcome. Julia, what are you saying here? Oh, after this table. Julia, is this resonating? How are you feeling? You feel like you often trick yourself. Okay. Well, the mind is what tricks you. The mind is what's tricking you. Yeah, you don't want to overthink this. You just want to be as present as possible with the feelings, and then allow the universe, allow your heart to guide you, my friend. You can use our heart teach my mind meditation track if you want to get out of the head and let the heart lead, because ultimately, regardless of what we call this, twin flame, companion, partnership, romantic, whatever it is, right? You're feeling a connection with this person. How wonderful. Celebrate it. Don't analyze it. Make it be, decide to decide to see it as a source of joy, decide to see it as a confirmation of connection, right? And it doesn't have to be anything else. And when you can be as present as possible in the moment with this other person, when you can enjoy that amazing easeful communication, when you can sink into the depth of the calm, and we can feel that universal love, you're allowing the relationship, and you're allowing source and the divine to guide it naturally to where it's supposed to go, right? Whatever that means, right? Instead of having your mind get in there and figure out, is are they going to commit to me? Is this going to be romantic? When do I have to make the decision X, Y, and Z? Don't go there. Just don't even bother going there. Just stay with how fun it feels. Stay with how delicious it feels to communicate this way. Stay with how joyful it feels to have met this person that you feel so deeply connected to. Awesome. Fantastic. Yeah, you're already out of your head. Exactly. That's why asking for the feelings is so important. Get clear on how you want to feel, Julia, when it comes to the kind of relationship that you want, romantic relationship, and use that as your guiding light. Use that as your measuring stick. You're already learning in this experience right now. There's a calm, there's sort of a bigger love feeling. There's not that obsessed love. You're learning from this experience right now how to recognize what you're really wanting. And this is beautiful. I celebrate this for you, and I love this for you. Cool. All right. Are you complete, Julia? Yeah, AM said the same thing. I'd say enjoy this feeling and see where it takes you. Surely it was meant to happen, and you will find out why. Yeah, we just never know. We think we know. We think we know so much, like, about these things, but that's us thinking we know, right? And we don't. So what's left for us? The moment. Enjoy the experience in the moment. I love this for you, Julia. I'm actually really excited for you, not because of the potentiality of what it could be, but because of what it is right now to you. How precious, how special. Not even special. Let's not even use that word. How precious, how delightful, how delicious. As Abraham said, I like you pretty good. Let's see how it goes. Yeah. Don't let the mind run the show, my dear. Let the heart run the show. The heart knows the entirety of your whole life. It knows every single chapter of your life, past, life, and present. Why? Because as we were talking about earlier, it is the seat of the soul, and your soul has been from life to life to life. Your soul is always connected to source and to the divine. Your mind is not. And so trust the heart as a portal to the divine, as a portal to your own heart wisdom that's available to you. And Nicole, this is true for you too. The heart is your guiding light in this legal situation. You're welcome, Julia. Awesome. I'm going to do one more spin because we did get a little late start, but we've had lots of beautiful conversations today, and I thank you for that. While I'm spinning, I want to let you guys know I've got some great new stuff coming up. Tomorrow I'm really excited about the deep dive. It's part of my Patreon program, and Melinda and I and whoever else signs up for that are going to be meeting tomorrow at 3 p.m. This is a deep dive on connection. Tomorrow we're going to focus on the chakras, and we're going to do an energy journey and then do readings about the result, or go in deeper, more personalized stuff on what that's about. That is something that is exclusive for my Patreon. I don't have it ready yet, but I'm going to be doing very, very soon, probably next week, I'm going to be doing a, um, a Zoom for everybody. And I'm calling it the Circle of Love Party, just as a silly placeholder name. I don't know if it's going to stay as that name, but it's basically this, but on Zoom. And why is this important to me? Because I think it's important to all of us. The Zoom experience, while some can feel awkward about it, it brings voice into it. And I learned something really powerful yesterday from watching this interview. We each have a unique frequency associated with our voice. Did you know that? It's called a soul note. This is something that Theo talked about in this interview I saw yesterday. We each have a unique frequency. And when we truly open our throat chakra and when we embrace that uniqueness, that energy allows people like me and others who do channeling and reading to ride that energy, and it creates a much more intimate, deeper experience. So I love doing the Zoom stuff, and I'm looking forward to doing it. I will have more details about that soon. But if you're interested in anything I'm doing outside of Insight Timer or inside of Timer, if you're interested just in Insight Timer, please do follow me. Turn on those notifications, and you'll see when I'm going live again or when I have a new track coming. I do have a new track coming about scripting. But yeah, if you're interested in connecting outside of Insight Timer, just go to the About tab on my profile, and there is my link tree, and I have all my latest happenings there. Yeah, so there's a lot going on there. I don't feel like mentioning anything else with that. But I have a lot coming both outside and inside of Insight Timer. So I'm looking forward to all that. And I can't wait to share it with all of you. Patty says I met a twin flame, but it was not to be a forever thing. Still think fondly of him, but terms like soulmate or soulmate are turnoffs for me. Oh, okay. Same here, Patty. Nicole says, love in the air. What a feeling. All right. All righty. Joanne, you got called on. Oh my God. How long's it been since you've been on the list and you finally get called on? Joanne, are you still here, my friend? Joanne. Haven't had a reading for Joanne in weeks, it feels like. Yeah, so if you're interested in the deep dive, this is going to be a monthly event, the third Thursday at 3 p.m. This is accessible only to members of my Patreon page, um, at least the Energy Explorer level. And this is just, I'm looking really, really forward to doing this so that we can really do a deep dive energetically. The theme right now is going to be connection. So for the next couple of months, pretty much for the next rest of the year, connection to our bodies, connection to our sacred energy, connection to source, connection to our guides, connection to other people, connection to our emotions. Just really, I love connection, and I really want to explore that with people. And I think that my gift is uniquely suited to do that in a very, very special way. So if you are interested in that, go to my link in the About section and go check out my Patreon page. That is what that's accessible through. The Circle of Love Party is not through Patreon. It'll be accessible to everybody here, and we can all get together. There will be a suggested donation, but it's an opportunity to just have a lot of fun doing readings and going deeper in a Zoom call, and just really, I mean, my experience of doing the Zoom is it's much more intimate, really, and it helps foster more community, and I just love the idea of it. So yeah, Joanne, I'm struggling with my lack of independence. Okay, my dear. Can you clarify? Is this related to your legs, my friend? I have a number of things happening, Dana. You can check my link to find out. The Zoom that's going to be available, publicly available to everybody, with a suggested donation is called Circle of Love Party, and that's hopefully next Thursday, but I don't have it listed on my link yet. It's probably going to go up tonight or tomorrow. I'm still trying to figure out some logistical stuff. But you can check out anything I'm doing through my link. I keep adding new things lately. Joanne, tell me a little bit more about this. Yes, it is. Have to have someone do most things for me still, and it's driving me batty. All right, let me see what message they have for you, my friend. Guides and circles. Please open me to a message from Joanne. To her and any of its I'm seeing a swarm of bats. They're acknowledging that it's driving you batty. Interesting. I need a little more time on this, but they're showing a ball of energy that is incredibly dim, and they're showing it in your abdomen. Somewhere, it's not at your root chakra. It could either be at your sacral or yeah, I think it's at your sacral center. You're welcome, Dana. It's always good to see you, my dear. Um, Joanne, yeah, yeah, they're showing me that, I mean, picture like a lamp that doesn't have the lamp shade. It doesn't have the shade on it, right? And the lamp is like one of those. It's not like a binary on off. It's like one of those that the brightness, you can turn the brightness up or you can turn the brightness down. And in this case, it's all the way down. Like the switch is turned all the way down until like that location right before it clicks off. Yes, sacral. Okay. So why are you guys showing me this? Okay. They're showing me this because it is a reflection that there is either a dimming or blocking of your very essence, of your very life force. Ah, and this has been going on for a long, long time. And because it's so dim, it's weak, so it's not strong enough to actually reach up to the solar plexus and to continue further up the chakras. So whatever this is, this is okay. All right, I get it. Okay. This is awkward for me to say, but this is what they're saying. So remember that the sacral, the second chakra, is not just associated with a very life force, but it's associated with pleasure, sensuality, and sexuality. And what they're indicating is that something is dimming your pleasure factor, your sexuality, your sensuality. So this may not be just about sex, which is the first concept that came through. But as we talk about this chakra, right, and how much it's like it's associated with water, it's associated with pleasure, it's associated, for me, it's associated with a very life force. And so, yeah, they're saying that there's a pattern of thinking or even behaving at this point that is denying you're denying yourself pleasure in life. And so it made me sad to say that, Joanne, partially because I get it. And the other part because the denying whatever's happening to deny this, to dim this light, is shutting off the very powerful, unique and beautiful spirit and being that you are. It's dimming, you're dimming your light, my dear. I don't know why you're dimming your light. And the why doesn't even really matter. Yes. So here's the thing. Joanne says, yes, I feel that all the fun and the joy has gone from my life. So here's the thing, my friend, and this, okay, this is tricky because you're dealing with a very physical situation as well. Okay. They're showing me that the pattern of thought, and this is really important to clear up. The pattern of thought isn't because of the legs, but that the legs are because of the pattern of thought. It's a bold statement, and I don't claim on being right on that, but that's the indication that they're giving me. Let's see if they offer any practical guidance on that. It makes sense to me. I don't know the entirety of your situation, and we have talked about it a smidge in the past, or a couple smidges. But it makes sense to me because the sacral is right there. I mean, the whole pelvic area is like controls access to the legs. And so this dimming has probably occurred prior to the leg condition happening. Yeah, Linda, I remember your knee thing. So there's something going on there, Joanne, and we don't have time to go on a journey, but this would totally lend itself to an energetic journey where we just dive into what that dim light bulb is all about and try to free up and unblock that energy. And we just don't have time today. I'm sorry. But yeah, it's your mind has put the cart before the horse in this case. In this case, the cart is the legs and the horse is the dimmed light at the sacral center. And I feel like there are small little things you can do to begin to tap into that, but that there is also a major clearing, um, which is fascinating because I know how much you're enjoying the crystal bowls. Yes, okay. They're really strongly encouraging you to pick one thing that is joyful for you and to begin to line up with when you do it every other feeling that comes from doing it. Yeah. Yeah, the mind is the boss of the moment, which is why you're batty, and you know that, and I know that, and that's okay. That's okay, my dear. It's okay. Keep telling yourself it's okay right now. You because mm, it's really, really important, Joanne, to not succumb to feeling like something is wrong. You're just out of alignment. And that's been a while now, and that's why the pain is so difficult, and that's why you feel like the joy of life has been sapped from you. And I get that, and it's okay. It's okay. There's a degree in which I know you're not going to like hearing this probably, but there's a degree of surrender that in which is required in this situation. But at the same time, the bowls like feel so important. The bowls have frequency, right? The bowls have tone and sound. They're very, very healing. I would say play each one of your bowls one at a time. I don't know where this is coming from or what this even means. Play each one of your crystal bowls one at a time. Allow the frequency to sink in like a meditation. Really feel it. Don't analyze it. Really feel it. Feel where you feel that vibrationally in your body, and then let that bowl's vibration die down. Don't stop it with the mallet or whatever the whatever the thing you use to circle or ding the bowls. Don't stop it. Let the whole frequency of that individual bowl, like I said, I have no idea where this is coming from. There's a brand new idea. I've never even thought of this before. Let the frequency of that individual bowl play completely out while you keep your eyes closed and you feel where that resonates in your body, and do that one bowl at a time until you have identified one or more bowls where it resonates in your sacral center. Okay. And then play that bowl every day. Do that same thing. Once you've found that one bowl, okay. And I know it's difficult to play probably all the bowls, but even just once you've found that bowl, set it aside for a bit and just use that as your sound for meditation that day, right? And I know you also do oracle card pulls. So really just every morning when you do your pull, forget about any other question except what am I supposed to know about this dimmed light in my sacral? Okay? And just make that your question every morning for the cards for like 7 days, and just jot them down or remember them or whatever, make note of them, right? And then after 7 days, compile them all together. Compile them all together and see how they relate. And again, I don't know where this is coming from. I've never had that idea before. So I know where this is coming from. It's coming from them. It's coming from source. It's coming from spirit. But yeah, I feel like this is knowing a little bit about you. This is the other reason I love working with people regularly, because I get to know you guys' stories. So that you just I know your energy better. It's we can go deeper because I know your energy better. How is this doing for you, Joanne? This is a lot all of a sudden. They do. That's why I got them, and I play them each and chant while doing it. Yeah, but they're really the message of this is to one at a time let the frequency sink in, identify the location on the body. It might be a chakra, it might not be, and then isolate and find the one that speaks to the sacral. Or if one doesn't speak to the sacral, to whatever's closest. Okay. Because that will be an indication of where to focus on. Yeah. Peter says, can you also breathe space into your areas of pain, Joanne? I love Kane James for this and other teachers' meditations, especially while doing singing bowls. Yep. Well, I usually journal after I pull a card. Okay, perfect. As always. And blubbering, but that's good in itself. Yeah, there's a lot of, I think that's the surrender that I'm talking about. It's just a lot of that release. I know this is frustrating, Joanne. But also remember that we went on a journey once, and the message that you got from inside of a box or from wherever we were, what we were unfolding, was that there is hope, right? That there is, that resolution is coming. And I know this is a particularly hard moment and a hard time, and we're all here with you, my dear. Let's just take a moment and really just feel the love in our hearts for everybody's challenges here today. And yeah, even though I'm hosting this session, I have my challenges too. So we all need a little bit of extra love every once in a while. I so appreciate having you guys here every time we do a live. It is such a beautiful collection of souls and hearts. It is always an honor and a pleasure and a blessing to be able to share my gift with you, to know that it is received with love and open-heartedness, and to know that together we are building an awesome community of like-hearted people. And thank you for your presence here today. Yeah, I'm impatient too, Joanne. The last thing I'm going to share about, now this is for another time. I was going to talk about belief, but I think that we're nearly at 2 hours, and I think that that is sufficient. It is good to be the queen. Yeah, exactly, Joanne. I wouldn't be where I am today if things hadn't happened. I wouldn't be here sharing with you guys and doing my best to try and be of service, even when I'm discombobulated by technology and busyness of the day. But this was a lovely session today, guys. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, please do come back and see us again. I'll be live again on Saturday, 3 p.m. Mountain Time. We are doing my absolute favorite readings extravaganza for anyone who's new. That's basically, we use the same wheel. Everybody gets a chance at a reading. And if you get picked by the wheel, or by the universe, as we like to say, you get to choose between picking an energy reading, a channeled message, or an oracle card pull. And it's super fun. It's kind of like a buffet slash smorgasbord. And so that's coming on Saturday at 3 p.m. Mountain. And then my next live is Sunday after that. And that is this wonderful new one. This will be the third in a series of a weekly channeled message for us all. Those have been really, really powerful. And I record all of my live streams and put them up on my YouTube. So please do feel free to go and bookmark that. You can find that on the About tab of my teacher's profile in my link tree, or just go to yaygreg.com. All my socials are there, actually. But I started creating playlists, and I put some links to the YouTube playlists there in my link tree. Also, if you missed it, once a month we're doing an Ask Me Anything Q&A. And we did the first one a few weeks ago. That's also available as a YouTube video. I have a link on my link tree to that called, it's right under the section Get to Know Greg. And then there's just a bunch of other stuff on there. But yeah, if you want to see any of the past stuff that I've done, YouTube's the place to go. Someday I'm going to go live on YouTube as well. But yeah, Marcella, look at what, there's some beauty right there. Marcella says, one day at a time, the care from others is grace. Be thankful and remember you are allowing them to be of service equals love. I love that, Marcella. Thank you for sharing. All right, my friends. Linda feels like I was, Linda, I remember that reading. I remember how difficult that was for you too. Marcella is a nurse hospital. Oh, Marcella, were you the one? I think that was you. You left that wonderful comment. I think maybe that was you, or maybe that was somebody else. Hmm. Hospice nurse. I think that was you. Claire says, I'm reminded of the something saying, If McCall saying, what's meant for you won't pass you by. Linda would never have found this amazing community if she had not been injured. Trying to find the email. Okay, Nicole. Thanks, PETA. I'm not allowed to put links in chat. Joanne, that's Greg and everyone. That's Greg and everyone. You're all so beautiful. Indeed. And so are you. We are all so beautiful together. You know, this whole thing about the soul note has me quite fascinated. We have a unique frequency, my friends, a unique frequency associated with our voice and the energy that comes through our voice. What does that mean? We don't know how that's possible. But what that means is you're unique. And in being unique, you're special. You're beautiful. You're fantastic. You're amazing. You're worthy and you're deserving. Wherein lies the challenge? And that is believing that. That's my challenge every day is belief. That's what I wanted to say about belief. There, it finally came out. Belief. Belief that we're worthy, belief in who we are, belief in spirit, in the divine, in source, in the universe, belief in our own power. These things, my friend, when we truly own them, they're life-changing. And I'm working on that. Last week, I realized I did not believe that my business could support me 100%. I spent the first 8 months of doing this thinking that it couldn't support me. And last week, I realized just doing my business on Insight Timer cannot fully support me. That's just the reality for me right now. And so a few days after that, well, no, when I realized that I didn't believe any of this, I got really, really sad. And I thought, oh, sad face. And a moment later, I realized if that's how I've been believing, I want to believe different. I don't want to keep believing this way. Now that I see that I wasn't believing, I'm willing to believe. And I spent all of last week willing to believe. And by the time the weekend came around, I did begin to believe. And I'm still working on it. And then I got that clarity that Insight Timer alone will not financially support me. And so in realizing that, I realized that if I do believe, and if I'm really willing to believe, which I am willing to believe, and I'm willing to believe 100%, then I need to fire on all pistons. I need to take actions to back up that belief. And I'm like not the biggest action person. You'd be surprised. But this made sense to me. And so I began developing and getting all sorts of things together. Why? Because at the end of the day, there are thousands more people. Look at us here, 120 people. There are 10 to 100 to 1,000 more of us out there that I want to reach. And what's a great example? Last week, we got a new Insight Timer member and a new member to our Circle of Love group on Insight Timer. And she found my YouTube videos and she was blown away at how what great friends we were, and basically acknowledging the community and the lovingness that's here in these lives, right? And she wanted to be part of it. And I said, I encourage you to join us in Insight Timer. And she followed me and she joined our Circle of Love. She hasn't made it to a live stream yet, but like, whoa, how cool. That's like so cool that the universe validated that I was beginning to realize I needed to reach out further than Insight Timer to reach these hearts. And here's one that showed up. That's pretty cool. And that's what I'm all about, is just reaching those hearts. So, Thomas, I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Thomas and I have a private. I'm really looking forward to it. And then tomorrow's the deep dive. Melinda, are you still here, my friend? I think you are. Maybe she had to go. If you're interested in anything I'm doing, I look forward to seeing you there. If you like to connect outside of Insight Timer, I look forward to seeing you there. Otherwise, I look forward to seeing you at our next live here on Insight Timer on Saturday, or maybe I will see you at one of our other beautiful teachers and friends' lives tomorrow or the next day. And with that, my friends, it's almost 5. I'm tired. I'm going to go take care of a few more things and have supper. I'm sending you so much love. Please be kind to yourself, be kind to your heart. Joanne, reach out to me if you feel so called. There's more we can talk about. I'm happy to be of service to you and really anybody else. I'm open to receiving any kind of messages. Yes, love and light to everyone. Nicole, please email me about helping me test. I really, really would appreciate that. Um, I really want to nail down this technology so I get this right. Not so I get it right, it's just so I get it working. Yeah. So I really, really would appreciate your help with that. All right, my friends. Gosh, I just want to linger and stay with you guys, but I do need to go. So I will bid you adieu, as they say, and I will see you down the road. You're welcome, Marcella. Love and grace to everybody, as she says. All right, my friends, take care. Have a great night or rest of your day. And I'll see you later. Love you bunches. Bye.